Hello and welcome to another tutorial from trainingps.com. Today I thought let's go over layer masks because we're going to be doing a photo retouching episode here soon, and we really need to understand layer mask and how they work to really get the most out of that. So let's go ahead and get started. All I've done so far is I created a new document, filled it was white. I created a black box here, and if you were to move it, you could move it anywhere you wanted. So to get a layer mask on this layer, all we have to do is go down to our third option at the bottom of our layers palette and click add layer mask. Now at this point it doesn't do anything because it filled it with white. White reveals, black will conceal. So if we were to inverse this layer mask by Command I, it would hide the entire selection. If we do it again, it shows it. Now the power behind this is that we can non-destructively take away or add things from this layer without actually damaging it at all. Let me show you an example. If we were to use a brush tool here on normal 100% opacity flow and we use some black, we can hide parts of our layer. And we haven't done anything at all to the layer itself. We can hide the layer, and you can see we're still here. It's still fine. It hasn't been altered in any way. All we did was lay a layer mask over it so that it would hide part of it. Another great thing about this is if we decide we do not like it, we can simply fill it back with a white and it's back to normal. Now the real power behind a mask comes from using opacities when you're working on the mask itself. So we don't have to actually paint 100% away at a time. We can drop our opacity down to a very low number and we paint just a part of it out. And as you can see, every time we go over it, we're taking a little more out so that it starts to build up. Where we've gone over it multiple times, it's much wider than it is where we had not. And again, if you've made a mistake in a certain area, you can simply erase it back in. We could take the opacity up, and we're using a very hard brush just to show here, but you're not constricted by any movement here. You're not making any decisions that cannot be undone. Let's go ahead and fill this back with white again, so we're back to normal. We can use a rectangular marquee tool, and we could fill this with black. That's one option. We could use the rectangular marquee tool and fill it with 50% gray, so it's halfway. We could take this and we could choose our own color anywhere in between if we so desired. Let's go back, fill this again with white. There we go. We can also use a gradient overlay on this. So we can select white to black, and we can give our box that same gradient overlay. And once again, we have not damaged it in any way. We've just given it a transition using that gradient. We can fill this again with white. It goes back. So this gives you a little idea of how masks work, and you will really start to understand how powerful they are once we start getting into photo retouching and using the layers to dodge and burn on the masks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was short and sweet, but it gives you a quick introduction to a layer mask and how it works. So until next time, this is Training PS. Thanks for watching.